My name's Rita Merritt. I'm a Gamilaroi. Is that it? Gamilaroi. I was born and bred here in Dubbo. Went to school at West Dubbo. And at the age of 8, Dad moved away to Warren. We went out on the Haddenrig property, Mr Faulkner's. We'd had correspondence from out there for 4 years, and we moved back into Warren when I was 12, and from Warren back to Dubbo. Been here ever since. Left school at the age of 15, went to work for people out 30 miles the other side of Nyngan. I was a nanny for children, for their 3 little boys, and left there. While I was there for 6 or 8 months straight, never went into town, stayed out on the property, looking after the kids and helping the lady. Went from Nyngan back to Dubbo and worked as a nanny there, looking after kids. Children, I should say, not kids. And, where else? Went to Sydney, worked for a Lebanese family down there, still being a granny to children.
Oh, sorry, where will we get on?
And,
thank you, sorry about that.
Then where else? I left school at the age of 15. Sorry now that I never continued. I'm pushing my grandchildren to carry on as far as they're willing to go.
So why did you leave school at 15?
I didn't like school at the time. But I'm sorry now.
So what didn't you like about school?
Oh, I don't know, the schoolwork, I think.
Yeah.
Everything. I just wanted to go to work. Just get away from the school. I asked Dad, and I asked him, could I leave school? And he said, yes, if you get a job. He said, you're not leaving school unless you've got a job to go to. Oh. He said, otherwise you stay in school.
All right, and you got a job. I
went down to the unemployment agency that afternoon, and the chap from Nyngan was there. Mr Wren owned a property 30 miles the other side of Nyngan, and he was looking for a nanny for his 3 little boys to help his wife because they just lost their little daughter, and the lady was a bit stressed with the 3 little boys, so he employed me straight away. He took me straight out to Nyngan.
Wow.
And I was there for 6 months straight, until my brother rang up one day and said Mum was sick and she was had to go into hospital. So the boss, Mr Wren, put me on the train and sent me home. And I never went back out there then.
Wow. It's a big deal going all that way on your own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Only 15.
You're braver than me. I wouldn't have done it. Are there any sorts of things that you want to talk about in relation to sort of key cultural things that were important to you growing up?
Well, that's the point. As kids, we were to be seen and not heard by the elders. We weren't allowed to sit around and listen to them talk, and that's why we don't know any of the lingo. We don't know, I know a few words, but I don't know how to put it into a sentence, you know. Mm. Only a few things they told us, like what was bread was wigo, and grog was widgely.
Mm. And so are you relearning the language now?
Yes, I'd like to.
And why are you relearning the language now?
So hopefully I can teach my grandchildren. I've got 36 of them. And I've also got 9 great-grandchildren.
Oh my gosh! How do you do?
A few more on the way.
Oh my God! I'm in awe.
Well, I had 7 children.
Yeah.
And my youngest daughter had 11, but she lost one, a little twin. So she had read 10.
Wow, that's a lot, isn't it? So we're going to be using the video to teach university students some of the things that they need to know about Aboriginal people. So what would you like to tell them?
Don't give up, go right through with your schooling. It's really important that you never give up. So I'm sorry now.
And if they come out and they work with, if there's non-Aboriginal students that come out and work with Aboriginal people, what do you think they need to know?
Who, the non-Aboriginal students?
Yeah.
They should know to learn all about our culture too.
Is there anything in particular that you think non-Aboriginal students need to do?
No, I don't think so.
Do they, is it about just talking with Aboriginal people or listening to them, or what do you think it is?
Oh, I don't know. Probably listening.
Listening. Yeah.
That'd be the main thing.
Yeah. So so for doing that, I think what you're saying is they need to be open and actually talk.
Yes.
They need to be out there talking with Aboriginal people. So how would you phrase that?
Oh, gee.
You say that now.
I wouldn't know how to phrase it.
So for Aboriginal students, when they come out here, they're out west working with Aboriginal people, what's the first thing they've got to be able to do?
Oh, I don't know.
They've got to be able to listen and talk with Aboriginal people.
Listen and learn and talk.
Yeah, that's a key thing, isn't it?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Do you think that as Aboriginal people, we've missed out on a lot of things?
Yes, I know I have.
Yeah, like what?
Because I'm 69 years of age and leaving school at the age of 15, I've missed out on a lot. See, I had my 7 children within 12 months of each other. I had my first, my eldest boy in 1964, and I had the youngest boy in 1971. And there's 7 between that.
Wow, that's a lot. So what was it that was important for you for them? What did you want them?
Being able to teach them.
Your culture?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because we were allowed to be seen but not heard. We weren't allowed to sit around and listen to the oldies talk. So they'd tell us to go and play.
And was that because they were trying to protect you, you know?
I don't know what it was. But we should have been taught, not hunted away, pushed away. We should have been taught. We might have known more about our culture.
So is that important for you now to learn?
Yes, it is now. But it might be too late, I might be too old.
Well, so what are you doing now that you're learning about your culture?
We're learning the language now. The words have had different, how to speak them.
Yeah. So why is it important for you to do that?
Well, hopefully I'll be able to help my grandchildren or great-grandchildren.
So that culture's not lost?
No, well, I hope not. I hope not.
Okay, is there a final message that you want to say to the students at university about what they need to be doing when they come out and work?
Just to carry on and get as much as you can, much knowledge about our heritage.
Really
learn as much as you can.
Yeah. So that means just listening and talking with Aboriginal people.
Yeah. And also the non-Aboriginal children too. It goes both ways.
Yeah. In what way? What do you mean by both ways?
Well, the white and the black Aboriginal kids mixing with the white children. So that white people, they must be learning too, on the same sort of thing.
So what is it that you think the white students need to learn?
As much as they can, really.
So about Aboriginal culture?
Yes, yes.
All right. So are you saying that the Aboriginal kids need to do their education and non-Aboriginal students need to learn about Aboriginal people?
Yes, yes.
All right. Do you want to say that in your words now? Just exactly what I said, so it's coming from you.
Well, yes, I think they should learn of the Aboriginal culture as much as the Aboriginal kids need to know.
Excellent, thank you. All right, is there anything else that you want to add that you think, is there an example or a story of where your kids might have had troubles or problems that...
I know years ago when we moved from Dubbo to Warren, then we came back to Nevertire, we were the only Aboriginal family in that town, and we got called names until I went to the headmaster and told the headmaster about the kids calling us names, boongs and blacks, and the headmaster, he really grilled the kids over it, and he stood us out the front, my brothers and my sister, and he said that he doesn't approve of what the children were saying about other kids. We're all here to be taught, no matter what colour we are.
So you had a good principal?
Yes, it was lovely.
Yeah, and that makes all the difference, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Certainly did. The kids, the other children, they were totally different until the headmaster spoke.
And then it changed?
Yeah, yeah.
So did your kids ever have any problems like that, or your grandkids?
No, I can't remember. I can't remember my kids, any of my kids.
Is that because you were more involved or you weren't afraid to speak up for them?
Yeah, I used to speak up for them.
Did you? Why? What did you do?
My second eldest boy, he got into trouble. The teacher threw something at him, the duster. He must have been noisy in class. The teacher threw the duster at him. He got up and he picked the duster up and threw it back at the teacher. Just missed the teacher's head, and he jumped up and ran out of class. And the teacher jumped in his car and was following him home, but Till beat the teacher home and told me what had happened. And I met the teacher at the door, and he apologised, said he was sorry that he did it. I never sent my boy back to school that day. I never let him go back. I kept him home, and I sent him the next day.
So when everybody calmed down?
Yeah. Because he had a temper on him. He would have knocked the teacher if I'd have let him go back. That's why I kept him home. I know he's got a terrible temper.
It's just as well he's got a good mother to talk for him then. Any other examples like that?
No, that was the only one.
One's enough, you reckon? One's enough, you reckon? They're funny.
Yeah.
All right, I might just get a photo of you. I'll stop the video. Thank you.